Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are now moving over to Alec at age 18. The beat of this techno music is so loud, I can barely hear myself think. I turn it down, but this is my party. And to be honest, most days I'd rather not think. I saunter about Knox's apartment and work the room. There are kids here from Westlake Prep, which is my Magicorum high school. Some up-and-coming stars and starlets hang by the back wall, and a new heavy metal band from Korea has camped out by the front door. All of them seem at home in what amounts to a concrete room with a great view of Manhattan. From the corner of my eye, I catch a flash of blonde hair. A band of excitement tightens about my chest. Is that Ella? I make my way over to the girl in question. Her back is facing me, but I'm able to slip through the crowd so I can get a good look at her face. My heart sinks. Not Ella. Knox stands up to my side. Looking for someone, he asks. Werewolves and their damn sense of smell. With one whiff, Knox can tell what I'm thinking. Always. You've got half of Manhattan in your apartment, says Knox. It's your apartment, I correct. Legend and Diamond pay the bills and ignore the parties, so let's call it a draw. There have been reasons, mostly. My parents, they are still pushing for the whole the charm curse situation. They believe that giving me nice cars and free apartments will smooth over my emotional and eventual disappointment when I get engaged. They're wrong, of course. The warden curse is still out there, so there are no plans to set up my glass slipper bowl. And I like it that way. Thank you very much. A stocky figure catches my eye. Is that? Yeah, says Knox. It's Wilhelm. The rest of the crowd doesn't notice the dwarf, but that's because Shadowcore carry extreme magic for just such purposes. You won't see Wilhelm unless he wants you to. Speaking of Wilhelm, the lead dwarf winks at Knox. Back at you, says Knox. My best friend shoots Wilhelm a thumbs up. Here's what that's all about. Knox and his werewolves have been supplying the dwarves with fresh meat for years. My parents can't complain, since it's a gift from a warden. The whole thing is one of my better ideas, if I do say so myself. I'm still tracking why Le Charme can't afford to feed its own people, but that's turning out to be tricky. Let's just say that my parents are very good at hiding things. All that aside, it's super unusual for Wilhelm to visit the Earth's surface. I look to Knox. I'll talk to Wilhelm in the library. Sure thing, says Knox. I take off with the crowd. The library has been magically soundproofed and wardened down by a dozen times, so it's a good spot to chat. Within a few minutes, I stand in a snug room that sports lots of exposed wood, leather chairs and books. This is officially Knox's place, but I do keep my own bedroom and library. After all, I need a place to crash. Plus, no self-respecting wizard steps or sleeps too far from his spellbook collection. Wilhelm slips into the room and closes the door. He looks so dwarfy as ever, with his leather cap and long tunic. I can't imagine what would be important enough to lure him away from the dig. What's up? I ask. Wilhelm raises his arm. Oh, his outstretched palm. There sits a thumb drive. I double take. Wait. A thumb drive? Is that? I gesture towards Wilhelm's hand. It is. I thought you were, I don't even know where to begin. Only interested in jewels, asked Wilhelm. That. We hit an internet backbone years ago. If it's underground, it's dwarf business. I slowly nod. Okay, that makes sense. So, we tapped into the web, and eventually the Le Charme network. Turns out, data is interesting to dig through. He wiggles his hand in a way that says, take it. I scoop the drive from Wilhelm. What's on this? Video from the Le Charme security cameras. Diamond has been deleting it. Interesting. If Diamond has been deleting footage, there's one likely reason why. Legend brings some of his lady friends to the building. Maybe there are some things Diamond wants to keep private. I shake my head. I don't need to see footage of Legend getting it on in his office. It's not that, says Wilhelm. Do you have a laptop in here? Now, I thought the fact that Wilhelm brought me a thumb drive was a shocker. Now, hearing him use the word laptop in a sentence, for some reason, that stuns me even more. I think of Wilhelm holding a pickaxe and, taking the finer points of gemstone quality. This is all very strange. There's a reason we're called Shadowcore, says Wilhelm. We hide things you simply can't imagine. All of which brings this to an even greater level of odd. Shadowcore conceal things from humans, but they're hiding stuff from Magicorum as well. My head gets a little woozy at that thought. Focus, Alec. Thumb drive first. I scan the room. My laptop sits in its regular spot on a nearby shelf. After firing up the machine, I look through the files on the drive. As Wilman said, they're all videos. I click on the first one. My world turns upside down. It's Ella. My Ella. And she's in my office at Le Charme. I magnified the image just to be sure. Yep, it's Ella all right. This girl, Wilhelm taps the screen, she's been breaking in to take jewels from your office. I'm never there, I explain. The office is more to keep up appearances than anything else. Appearances of what? Interest in the charm. Mostly I'm never there, so folks toss boxes in there all the time. My place is warded and locked, so it's a good spot to stash stuff. I don't care. We looked into the items she's been taking. Most recently, it was a lost wedding ring. I loop up from the laptop. Lost? Meaning stolen. Does that happen often? I bob my head and think this through. We have a desk of heirloom jewellery in the store. It's supposed to be old pieces that bought at auction or whatever. Sometimes stolen stuff gets in there, but we're supposed to call the authorities. Looks like this girl might be taking matters into her own hands. My gaze locks on the laptop screen. This time the video shows Ella and her friend breaking into my office and are they? I lean in for a closer look, just to be sure what I'm seeing. Yep, I'm not hallucinating. Ella and a buddy are definitely jumping on my couch. I can't help but grin. Ella. It's really Ella. Wilhelm folds his arms over his chest. Any idea why Diamond would want to hide this? What does your data dig tell you? Nothing. Wilhelm's gaze turns intense. It's like this. My people are loyal, but when it comes to stealing jewels, that's something we can't abide. You want to go after this girl? No, she's not a thief. She's clearly taking already stolen jewels. We figure she's after the reward. Wilhelm steps closer. What we're worried about is Diamond. My eyes widen. Suddenly, Wilhelm's visit makes a ton of sense. Dwarves value jewels above all else. It would never occur to them that Diamond wouldn't be involved in stealing something so precious. You don't have to worry, I explain. Diamond isn't involved in stealing jewels. It's this girl. I tap on the screen. Diamond doesn't want me to have anything to do with her. Wilhelm's brows pull together. But the girl rescues stolen stones. Diamond doesn't see it that way. I don't know why she hates Ella. She just does. Wilhelm makes a harumphing noise. It's a single sound, there's a ton of meaning inside it. Essentially, Wilhelm thinks I'm being super naive. If there's something else, says Wilhelm. Anything at all? I'll be off. Thanks, Wilhelm. Keep a weather eye out on those stones. I promise. With that, Wilhelm vanishes. 1 second he's there, the next, no sign. With Wilhelm gone, I bring back the image of Ella on the screen. Reaching into the pocket of my sports jacket, I pull out a handful of gems. While focusing on the picture of Ella, I pull on the power inside the stones and ask a question in my mind. When will she return? These jewels speak to me in a low rumble. Their voices are so deep. My ears seem to vibrate from the tone. Your office. 2 weeks from today. Jolts of happy zing through my heart. I reset the stones in my pocket and head out to find Knox. My best friend hangs in the kitchen. I find him leaning against a wall, his arms crossed over his chest. Knox stares out at the crowd with a predatory glare. Every so often, a partygoer steps by him, careful to keep a safe distance. I walk up and grin, making no friends. I'd rather be out hunting jewels, and you know it. He inhales. You're happy? What's up? Now, I could confess here, for instance. I might admit how I cast dozens of spells to find Ella over the years. None of them worked. Or I could share how every girl I meet gets judged against Ella's memory, which is true. I might state how even at this moment, invisible bonds pull me back to her, and all about the girl I met for 2 minutes 3 years ago. It's like this. There are some things that belong in my heart. Ella's one of them. Even Knox doesn't know the full extent of my feelings. Call it intuition. But something's telling me she needs protecting. Even from me? On second thought, especially from me, what if the media got a word I'd been obsessing about someone? Ella's life would be turned upside down. I won't let that happen. Knox clears his throat. I realise I've been staring out into the partygoers for a beat too long. Grinning, I refocus on my friend. Something interesting will happen at my office in 2 weeks. Care to join me? No. Too bad. You're hanging with me anyway. Knox takes in another deep breath. Don't look now. Your latest flames are here. How many? 4. You keep better track than I do. Not by choice. You attract ladies who love strong perfume, he says. The way strong perfume, the way someone else might say, electric chair. Confession time. Turns out my parents do know me quite well. Getting this apartment for Knox has been a rather nice distraction for me. There were lots of parties, and a lot of trying to find Ella, and failing that, discover a way to forget her. Let's just say I've enjoyed turning 18. Speaking of which, one of my ladies in question steps up. She's cute and blonde with freckles. What's her name again? Cece? That's it. Cece strolls up and gives me a quick peck on the lips. Hey, Alec. Knox waves. Bye, Alec. He moves with wolf speed into the crowd. I've missed you, says Cece. When will we get together again? About that. I'm taken now. Sorry. Cece's mouth falls open. You're dating someone? I am. Who? You'll know when she does, I say with a wink, as answers go. It's cryptic and accurate, all at once. Next, I announce the party's closing down early. After all, I've got 2 weeks before I see Ella again. I need to make sure I have my rest and all that. Plus, if I'm being honest, the real reason for the party has ended, I suppose. Some small corner of me has always hoped that Ella would walk through the door one night. Now that I know, well, she'll be here in 2 weeks. The door is closed until further notice. Ooh, guys. It's unbelievable to think that, Alex spent all his time trying to find Ella, right? We didn't know that, and we do now. Hey, dear me. So, when we continue, the next chapter I'm going to read, you'll remember it from Briar Rose, because it happened in that story. But it's going to be from Alec's point of view, so bear that in mind, that some things may need to be repeated in order for the story to go forward. But remember that it's Alec coming from Alec's point of view and not from Briar Rose's point of view. Thanks for listening to this episode, and many blessings.